What's going on, folks? We are back for another episode of the Shadowcast. I'm excited about this episode because it's going along with the same theme that we've been going through of basically talking to front office members, people who can actually explain like the differences of each one of these leagues and how they kind of, you know, are a little bit unique. Not all the leagues are the same. And tonight we have Vols. We have Vols in here. Welcome to the show, sir.
What's going on? How you doing?
Doing good, man. You know,
Yeah.
we've had this conversation before, but I mean, I see you rocking the UT, the
Yep. And I got the MHU on too.
other UT. You know
No,
that
the
other
the
one.
UT.
Yeah,
There's only one. Only one.
we agree.
May,
We just agreed
maybe
on which
maybe in
one.
Texas there might be a second one, but just one in the
Yeah,
South.
yeah. And how y'all looking? Pretty good this year.
Pretty good. We're eighth in the country. It's kind of shocking since we've not been in the top 10 since like 2016. So got a big game Saturday against LSU. Actually leaving Friday, going down to Baton Rouge for the game. So that'll be
Nice.
should be a good atmosphere. So I'm excited about that.
So you were at another game recently. Which one was that one? That one was
The
crazy. Like the
Yeah, Tennessee, Florida. Yeah, I was at that. That was in Knoxville. But yeah, that was two weeks ago. We were at that game. Me and Denham
nice.
both. So
Yeah, Denham's pretty funny, man. I like Denham.
yeah.
He's cool.
Yeah, we live in the same town, go way back. We've known each other since like freshman year in high school, something like that. So like half our
Oh,
life.
okay.
So yeah.
Sweet, sweet. That'll work, man. But now that game looked crazy. Like the atmosphere. College game day was there and all that.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
pretty cool. Now, did you go
Yeah.
to
It was.
UT or that
I did
UT?
not. No,
No,
I did not.
just
No,
long
just
time
grew up a
fan.
fan. Yeah, live probably 35 minutes from the campus. So just always have went. I've had season tickets for about 10 years now. So
Nice.
just go to all the games, as many as we can. So
Yeah, I used to follow what like tacitly follow back when Peyton was there, and then when T was there, followed them that year
yeah,
as well.
those were the
So had some
glory years.
had some good years, had some good
Yeah,
years for sure.
it's been the past 10 years has been rough. I picked probably the wrong decade to have season tickets, but it's still a good atmosphere, good game day experience. So
That's what's up. That's what's up. So
yeah,
we met through me joining MHU, which is Madden Heads Unlimited, um, and Gordo actually brought me in. There was a spot open. I came in last year, and
yep,
it was a little bit of a different vibe, but I dig the vibe in MHU, and it's run very much in a different way. There's a different approach to how um, like how you can upgrade and the whole commerce system that's there this year and all that. I want to jump into that as well. But tell me first before we get into that, like how did you like did you always were you always in the front office? Did you start MHU? Like what's the origin story?
so MHU it got started back in like 20. I want to say it was 2016, 2017, somewhere in that area. But it kind of formed from a previous league that probably I would say like 10 to 12 guys that are currently in MHU were in, and that was in 2013. It was LOL League of Leagues. I know
Okay,
Brad was
nice.
there. Yeah, so we were kind of together then, kind of broke apart from like PS3 to PS4
Mm,
upgrade. And then we kind of all got back together with MHU. A couple guys created it, ran it for like a cycle and a half, and then they kind of got out of it again. And it was really to the point where like we had a really good core of guys. I've known Sundance for like 15 years. Denham was there. OMG, I knew him for a long time. So it's kind of just to the point where do we go our separate ways and like look for just leagues that we just want to be a part of, or do we want to save it and make it our own? So me, OMG, and Denham kind of chose to save it. We brought Brett into the admin group then. So that's kind of been the group of four as far as the admin goes since 2017.
Okay.
And then Beeman hopped in. Got lucky with Beeman finding him. Sundance actually knew him personally through some people, so we got Beeman in, and it's really been us five. Wood is an admin. He helps out with kind of not so much this cycle. He's been real busy, but he's kind of helped out in the past, like as far as just kind of like enforcing rules. It's kind of been his thing, but yeah.
That
So that's
is
kind of how
that's something that I will say in terms of rule enforcement. Like it's like, hey, rules are the rules. You break the rules, boom, punishment. Let's move on.
right.
Right? It's
Yeah.
very cut and dry. And I mean, the rules aren't crazy strict either, but they do kind of push towards being a little more sim.
Yeah, and really depends on, I guess, who you ask. Some people
Yeah, sim
think
is yeah,
we're kind of lax as far as sim goes, but I mean, sim. I mean, you can, that's a whole conversation for like another day. You really can get into, I mean, some dark, deep alleyways on that. Because I mean, in my opinion, sim kind of changes cycle to cycle. Just like I
yeah.
mean, the real NFL, it changes over time. The NFL is completely different now from where it was 5 years ago, 10 years ago. So I feel like Madden's kind of the same way. You got to kind of adjust every cycle and just be open to change.
Yeah. So how you feeling about this Madden? You feel like this is the best Madden ever, or do you can't?
Well,
Let's focus gameplay because obviously
yeah,
CFM has a lot of
yeah,
bugs and
yeah, for sure.
pitfalls. So
I mean, as far
gameplay
as
wise,
gameplay, yeah, as far as gameplay, I really dig the gameplay. It's night and day better than last cycle. My probably my favorite thing so far this cycle has just been like not having to deal with crossing routes. Like I feel like that's all I had to deal with last
right,
cycle was if you can
yeah,
stop a crossing route, you're gonna win.
right.
If you can't, you're probably gonna get killed. So it's just been nice, and I think a lot of I think the gameplays helped that, and then I think some of the things we chose to do in MHU helped it a little bit too. But yeah, I think the gameplay is a lot better. It's definitely one of the better versions they've had as far as the gameplay goes. I agree with that for sure.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Denim's in the chat. What's up, Denim?
What's up,
Um,
Denim?
yeah. So in terms of this one, I do agree. Like I love the fact that you can actually direct where passes go, even though I'm having completely sporadic um, results with Matt Corral. But when he's on, it's nice. I like it. But I
Yeah,
definitely love the passing in this cycle. I just need to need to get on that running game a little more. Um, so
I'm
and
right there with you.
yeah, bro. And so in terms of MHU, I want to talk about the commerce system, the betting, and all that aspect of it. This is something that
Yeah,
I
for
don't
sure.
see in any of my other leagues. I'm in 220, which is 220 Reloaded, and also STE, which is Showtime Elite. And so the betting system is interesting. And so for those that don't know, what you're able to do is build up these MHU coins, and these coins allow you to buy certain things, and certain actions that you take are allowed or actually earn you some coin. So before we jump into those specifics, what is the workload like for you to manage that? Because you have to go through and see, like, did somebody play their game, did somebody post an article, et cetera,
Right.
just to see if somebody earned a coin. What's that like for you to manage?
It it was a heavy workload at first. But I mean that kind of with anything you do kind of sucks at first, and then once you get comfortable with it, kind of find some shortcuts and some workarounds, um, it gets easier with time. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. Um, I know I've slacked for like the past probably 2 weeks, but I've just been super busy too, with work. And then just like every weekend, I feel like I'm either out of town or just at the game all day. So I don't have, any time to do stuff on the weekend. But yeah, it's gotten a lot easier now. It's a couple spreadsheets that I'm using to kind of keep up with like mainly like chat activity. But as far as like the weekly paychecks, if you play your game or not, I mean it's pretty simple. Just use our channel in Discord, the simulated games. Use that to see if you had a force. Basically, if you have a force L, you're not getting a paycheck. Play your game and have force wins, you get a paycheck. And then as far as bye weeks go, I'm not keeping track of bye weeks. Just at the end of the year, I'm just going to subtract 1 coin from everybody because everybody has a bye week. I'm not going to, waste time on week 10 and try to figure out
Right.
who's on a bye and who wasn't. So everybody's just going to get 18. If you play, if you're perfect, you get 18, and then you'll lose one at the end. Um, it's kind of how I felt like was the easiest way to go there. But yeah, it's
Makes
not been
sense.
too bad now. Like the media tracking it, I basically pull it up on my desktop or my laptop and kind of track it there, and use the MHU coin reaction for when I pay it out, and then I just copy and paste the command on my phone and then just add the user. Um, so it's a lot faster now than what I was 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, I was not copying and pasting, and I was literally typing every single thing. And
Ooh.
Alex hit me up and was like, "Dude, you've been paying MHU coin out for like 2 hours now. Like, we got to get you a bot or something." And I'm like, "I'll figure
Right.
something out." So,
So that
um,
so that's where I wanted was curious. So it was taking you 2 hours. How long does it take you now to do all of those transactions? Because
um,
it
so
can
I
be lengthy.
yeah, so I did week 10, 11, and 12 today, and I think that I didn't time myself today, but I think it took about 20 to 30 minutes, if I had to guess. And then, like I said, that was doing like 3 weeks worth
Okay.
of
So
payouts.
that
So
yeah. So definitely getting faster at it for
yeah,
sure.
yeah, for sure.
So that's good. That's good. Because every time I would see it pop up, I would wonder, man, how much time is this guy spending? Like, cause
Yeah, yeah,
it's a lot of messages that start flying through, and you know, from a front office standpoint, time I think is the key.
yeah,
And
for sure.
because there's enough admins, I think you guys are able to spread out certain aspects of it to make sure it's not going going to take up too much time. But Big Mike jumped in. He said he needs his bye week coin.
Yeah, I hear him. He's waiting on me. Me and him are supposed to be playing after this
Okay. All
big
right.
big
Cool. Cool.
showdown with him. So we'll see how it goes.
Nice. Nice. So one of the things that you can do to earn it is like Denim here has this write up. So we're able to write these articles that we call the MHU Bleacher Report, and it can be anything. Like you can just write whatever you want to write, post an image, and this is kind of tweaking a little bit because I got the green screen on. But you can see how, for those that don't know, like you can just end up coming in and writing up an article about what happened that week. Kind of go through those things. You also have the flex zone where we can go through and just post clips. And I believe it's 1 coin per week, right?
Yep. So you can post, if you got 3 or 4 flexes from one game, we welcome that. You can post 4 flexes. You're just going to get 1 coin for just one video for the week. And then at the end of the season, if you scroll up a little bit, you'll probably see some that have like 1, 2, or 3 on them. Some of the admins have already started going through and
Somebody put the middle finger on that one.
kind of rating each flex for the end of
Okay.
season, because we'll do like a top five, kind of like a Sports Center top play of the season. We'll do top five, and then the winner, the number one play, have to look. They get some sort of coin. Let's see.
Yeah, so we can jump over here to the how to
Yeah,
earn
win.
here.
Yeah, win flex on clip of the season. They get 5 coin for winning if they have the best play, and that's kind of voted on. The top five will be voted on by admins, and then we'll release the top five in no particular order, and then have the league vote out of those five. So it'll be a league wide vote.
Nice. Yeah, so these are things that we're able to actually earn, so chat, actually being in the chat, you get a particular level. And as you can see, the chat bot level basically 510 every fifth basically. You're able to
Yep.
get a coin or two or three. And then the media here, you're able to earn from these individual coins here. So, boom, we're gonna get some coins tonight for doing the interview.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
um, and then um, once you have your coins, what you can do here is actually shop. So these are the things. Now, this is what I want to ask you about. So things like the attributes that are like, let's take the first one, locked plus one attribute, a max of 10,
Yep.
and then bonus trade max of 5. How did you guys come to this particular level of, these are the numbers that we want to do, right? We want to lock it to 10 total attributes across the entire cycle. Like, what was the thinking behind
So that
these
we
numbers?
we kind of just took from our previous cycles that we had for chat activity rewards. So a lot of these items in the shop is basically what you used to earn just for chat activity. Um, so, like last cycle, for example, if you maxed out, I think the max was level 50 on chat activity last cycle.
Right.
So if you hit level 50 on chat activity over the course of that cycle, those 50 chat levels, you would have earned 10 attribute points. So that's why we just kind of stuck with a max of 10 because it's worked. That system we had last cycle, we had it for like 3 or 4 cycles in a row, and it worked well. Same with the bonus trades. You earn 5 bonus trades over the course of the cycle if you maxed out on chat activity. So we just kind of decided to keep it simple and just keep it keep it with what we had. It wasn't broke, so we weren't going to fix it.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. So I actually used mine to get Matt Corral bumped up to Star Dev to try to get him to see if I could get him going. I should have actually just tried to go ahead and get the dev. I actually got a dev game with him, but
Yeah,
I did bump him up to Star Dev to see, will it work? Will it see? So I actually used my one for the cycle. Hopefully, I didn't waste it. Uh, we'll see though.
that's if you're going to use them, I think definitely quarterback
Yeah,
is the one. I know last cycle I think I used a star to superstar on Fields last cycle. So I
nice.
think quarterback's a good option. If I don't get Ritter to superstar at the end of this first season, I'm probably gonna just go on and get him to superstar by using that one. I would imagine, but
Yeah,
we'll
that's what
see.
I figure. I mean, I think I could get Corral. It's what I think I'm around 20 something coins. Need
Yeah,
20 more to be able to get to 40, so I could get that starter SS Dev. So I probably would use it on him just to see.
yeah. I think that's the most important position, especially this Madden for sure.
Oh yeah,
So I
absolutely.
don't think it's a bad choice.
Yeah. So how you feeling about your squad this cycle? So you're rolling with the Lions. How do you
Yep,
feel the Lions are
we're
doing right now? So here's the current standings.
yeah we're struggling right now. 6-5, I think, is where we're at. Our offense has been better the past 3 or 4 weeks. Um, the defense is pretty bad. I think we're like bottom of the barrel defense, and I think we're probably top 10 as far as offense goes. I haven't looked, but I would imagine we're just trying to get Ritter and Jamison Williams, trying to build them up, get them hopefully to superstar by the end of the season one. Would love to get Swift to superstar, but I just don't know that I've used him enough to do that.
Right.
We got Aiden Hutchinson. We had him on a breakout a couple weeks ago and got lucky and hit that. So we got him to superstar. So we got some work to do on the defensive side, which we knew that, but we're pretty happy with where the offense is for this cycle. We're not going to make too many changes, I don't believe, as far as offense goes. Just try to dev the young guys and get some abilities on them. It's kind of the
Yeah.
goal.
That makes sense, man. So what we're looking at now is the AFC standings. I mean, the AFC is looking pretty strong. The bottom six are sub 500, so that's leaving a pretty good amount of teams there that are above 500. And then on the NFC side,
It's the
yeah, we're
opposite.
not. Yeah,
Yeah, and that's how MHU has been for. It's crazy. MHU's been that way for probably three. This is probably the third cycle. It's been that way. I mean, it's if you go back and look at our league champions, I would say 75% of them have been from the AFC. Um,
mm,
it's just always AFC's always been a powerhouse. It's where all the people stay. Um, I was in the AFC for the longest time. Moved to the NFC last cycle just to try to get a break because it's a freaking gauntlet over there to try to get just to try to get into the playoffs, and then you get in the playoffs and you got to win three tough games just to get to the Super Bowl.
right.
So we're definitely enjoying our time in the NFC. It makes things a little bit. It makes the path a little bit easier, but it's still difficult. We've got a lot of good users in MHU.
Yeah, I mean, to bring it back up here, I'm sitting at 5-7 here with the Panthers. I've dropped. It's got to be 3 or 4 that I shouldn't have dropped. I was right there. Shouldn't have lost those games. User error on probably on all of them. But I'm not out of the running. Like it's still possible for me to
Oh,
get
for
up
sure.
here
Yeah.
and
I mean, you're just
potentially
yeah,
get in
you're
there.
what 2 games. I think I'm the 7 seed right now, so you're just 2 games out.
Right.
Um,
Which is wild.
so yeah,
Considering how poorly I played in some of these last few games. So
and
um,
you're only what one game out of the division. I think Gordo's six
yeah.
and six. Yeah, so I mean, I think that division's probably no disrespect to either one of you, but I think it's probably going to be like a 9-8, maybe 8-9. You might see a losing record win the division, maybe.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, it's
It wouldn't
definitely looking
surprise
that
me.
way. Yeah, it's definitely looking that way. I just have to beat the Bucks and the Saints, um, and then me and Gordo split. So if they one of those can beat Gordo, then I think he's undefeated in division right now. But if one of those can beat Gordo, then yeah, I'll be looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, man. But now I'm looking forward to it. Playoff wise, um, how do we do the advances on the playoffs? How fast does it run? Just
So
from a math
typically,
standpoint.
playoffs. I would have to go back and verify it, but I'm pretty sure it's 48 hours. We do the last week, week 18, we do a 24-hour advance. Doesn't matter when it falls. Even if we advance to the last week on Friday, we're not going to give all weekend for the last week. Now, if I mean if there's some games that matter, we kind of give some leeway on it. But typically, the last week's 24-hour advance straight into the playoffs, and then 48 hours from there. And they typically go within 24 hours most of the
So
time.
I asked that because a situation came up in another league last cycle where it was potentially a sim, and we just ended up waiting like, man, I think we waited like a week for one game to
Yeah,
go. How is something like that handled in MHU?
we we'll wait. Definitely. I mean, that's the last thing you want in a playoff is
Yeah.
a sim, but you also don't want to sit around for a week either and make your you know the other half of the league sit around waiting.
Right.
That's out of the playoffs. So typically, I mean, over the past few cycles, everybody's been really good about getting it in. We've had to wait a time or two, but yeah, I mean, I would say the goal is to never have a sim in the playoffs. That's the last thing you want, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. And that was largely the reason why we had waited. But it did suck because it was the last season. So it's
Yeah,
like that last season trying to get it finished. And,
yeah, and that's
you know,
typically when something like that, if it's going to happen, it's going to be that last season.
yeah. Now, MHU has the most consistent advanced schedule that I've seen, where it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Yep.
Pretty much without fail. Has it always been that consistent, and like what led to that move?
It's been
And
pretty
are there any
consistent.
issues that you guys have seen with that?
I wouldn't say any issues. We used to be on a Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. But that Thursday to Sunday, it wasn't really giving a lot of people weekend time. So we moved it to Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That way, you pretty much have Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday, and Monday to get a weekend game in. Because that's
Right.
typically, especially in MHU, that's typically when people are going to be busy, just with life is on the weekends. So it's been pretty good. We've not had any issue with it. We made a change last cycle to start locking the schedule after 24 hours after we advance, just because, especially on that weekend window, we would have people that we would advance on Friday night and they wouldn't even attempt to schedule a game until Monday morning.
Right.
So, like, what have you been doing for 48 hours? Everybody's waiting on you, and you've not even attempted to schedule your game. So, we put that rule in last cycle, and that seems to have helped tremendously, getting people and then getting them to schedule their games. And then with Neon having to being able to create threads, so we can actually see the conversation going on instead
Yeah.
of having to ask for screenshots. That's made life. I know it's ugly and jumbled, and hard to look at times, but it's made life so much easier from my point of view. Just being able
Yeah.
to kind of know I don't have to DM somebody and wait for them to reply to me to kind of tell me what's going on. I can just hop in the thread and get a good feel for what's actually going on.
Yeah. Now I brought that up to the other leagues as well. As soon as I saw it, at first I was like, "Man, what the heck is going on? This is
Yeah,
a little odd." But then, as we mentioned earlier, you earn points for raising your chat level. That chat conversation that normally happens in DMs, you get no credit for any of that chatting. But now we actually get credit for that chatting, which I
right.
think is dope. And then
Yep,
on top of that, it's very easy, I think, for you guys, as you mentioned, to come through. And I think because you're in all the channels
yep,
that get created or threads, so you're able to see all of that conversation. So there's none of that, well, no, you didn't respond or you did respond and posting screenshots. You got all the information right there
yeah.
when it comes to force wins and things like that. So that's pretty dope. I actually like that a lot. But the other leagues use my Madden, and that's not a feature. That's
See,
just
we've never had.
a
I've heard
Neon
good
thing.
things about my Madden. We were always Daddy League, and then Neon.
Okay.
We used Neon last cycle, but from last cycle to this cycle, Neon is just absolutely killing it.
Yeah, I think so too. The app, even though it makes you log in on repeat, the
Yeah,
app is a nice touch too, because that makes it
yeah,
easy for me to get to the league actual um, without an actual browser tab that stays open and things like that. So
right.
looks like Big Mike is looking to get his game going. He said TikTok
Yeah,
and got a little colorful there. So I'm gonna just go ahead and put what Denham said onto the interview here. Denham said, "Go whoop him." So
I'm gonna give it my best.
yeah,
We played a few times last cycle. He was the Lions, and I was the Bears, so we
okay,
played a handful of times. So it should be a good matchup. He's got a better team than he had last cycle, so he's not going to have that excuse this time. So we'll see what
yeah. And we
happens.
got OMG appreciating the silver foxiness that's going on here. So we're gonna have to get OMG Denham Beeman. I laughed when you brought up Beeman earlier because of that clip that he got of me
Yeah,
saying, "Oh
yeah.
no,
That
don't
was
let him
that was
inside me."
yeah, that was a great clip. That you'll never live that down. That'll
I
be
will
posted
never.
10
Rightfully
years
so,
from
though.
now. Yeah,
Rightfully so. I
yeah.
earned that one. So anyway, man, hey, I appreciate the interview. I appreciate the time. I know we had some technical difficulties getting things going, but I appreciate you jumping in. Hopefully, those that joined from the other leagues uh, saw something or heard something that they liked, and
Yeah, for
maybe
sure.
there's something that we could implement in other leagues. So, looking
Yep.
forward to it. Hey, man, enjoy your game. I'll tune
All right.
in.
I
Go
appreciate
get
you.
the dub.
Yep. Appreciate it.
Catch you on the flip.
Yep.